2023 has been an absolute banger year for games, and somehow there's still a bunch more awesome looking titles to come this December. So let's take a look. We'll kick the month off by adding yet another brand new title to the Game Pass library, Steam World Build. Releasing on December 1st, this quirky management sim has you building your very own Steam-powered Old West-style town on a far-off planet. Think City Skylines, but with little robots a bit like those Dwemer automatons from Skyrim, but nice. It's not all sunshines and rainbows on Mars though. Once you've got things up and running, you can send your Steam bots down into the mines in search of ancient technology and other valuables. Although you'll need to keep an eye out for pesky varmints along the way. Whether you're in it for the city managing complexities, the spelunking adventures, or just to see a bunch of robots wearing cowboy hats, Steam World Build promises to be a rootin', tooting, computing good time. Yee, and I cannot stress this enough, ha! After spending a little time in early access mode to make sure it really is everything Disney fans had ever dreamed of, Disney Dreamlight Valley will have its full release on the 5th. For those of you who haven't checked it out on Game Pass already, first of all, why not? But secondly, here's the deal. Disney Dreamlight Valley is part life sim, part adventure game, and all kinds of charming. Create your own custom avatar and then get to work recruiting all your favorite Disney and Pixar characters to come back to the valley. Build yourself a beach house and hang out with Moana, or take a stroll through the central plaza and get incredibly jealous that Remy from Ratatouille for some reason has a house bigger than you, a human being. You could even see what Wally's up to, which makes it worth your time on its own. Whatever you do, the world is your beautifully animated talking oyster. The 5th will also see the release of Disney Dreamlight Valley's first major expansion, A Rift in Time, which features a whole new island for players to explore and gives them the chance to take an art class with Rapunzel. Just don't get roped into doing her hair. 2023 was a very big year for Cyberpunk 2077, with the truly game-changing 2.0 update and the exhilarating espionage expansion known as Phantom Liberty. And if you haven't made it down to Night City yet, you should definitely consider picking up the Ultimate Edition when it arrives on December 5th. This really is the definitive package, allowing players to benefit from all of the new features that have been added via updates, like vehicular combat, a revamped perk system, and improved police AI, along with the full Phantom Liberty expansion in all its Idris Elba-y goodness. The Ultimate Edition is coming to Xbox Series X and S too, which means you'll get to see Night City at its very best, with lightning fast load times, dynamic 4K scaling, and ray tracing.
Oh, and just to butt in for a sec, I actually did speak to Mr. Elba not too long ago about acting in this very game, so why not give that a little watch after this, eh? Alright, on you go.
Born of Bread also arrives on the 5th, and wow, the pun potential here is just off the charts. It's the best thing since sliced bread. Worth spending some dough on. The ideal game to loaf around with. You're not ready for how good it is. Oh, okay, now I've got that out of my system. Born of Bread is an exceptionally charming 2.5D adventure, featuring a distinctive cartoony art style, a whole cast of weird and wonderful characters, and its own quirky turn-based battle system. If you loved Cult of the Lamb from last year, this looks like its more carby turn-based cousin. So you should check it out, that is, if you think you can rise to the challenge. On the 7th, you'll have the chance to open Pandora's box and enjoy a brand new game set in the Avatar universe. Well, unless you're an Xbox Series S gamer, in which case you'll be downloading Pandora's digital file, but still. Frontiers of Pandora is an open-world, first-person adventure set on a never-before-seen part of the planet, like Far Cry but with 100% more blue peeps. Combine traditional Na'vi weapons with high-tech human ones as you fight for the fate of your planet, upgrading your skills and crafting new equipment along the way. And naturally, you'll get to take to the sky on the back of those big, scary lizardbird things. The Avatar series has always been known for its cutting-edge visuals, and Frontiers of Pandora is no exception. Boot up this new title in 4K on the Xbox Series X and get ready to see a whole new side of Pandora.
It's already been enjoyed by loads of players on PC, but now Smallands Survive the Wilds is going to be clambering onto Xbox consoles on December 7th. Grounded fans are going to have a field day with this teeny tiny multiplayer survival game. It's a world where puddles are like oceans and trees are like skyscrapers, and just staying alive is a full-time occupation. You're going to need to work together to craft gear, build shelters, tame creatures, and battle those that don't feel like being tamed. Stick around long enough and you might manage to learn a thing or two about the lore behind the game's very, very strange world. But if you can make it to bedtime without getting murdered by a wasp, I'd probably also call that a win.
We'll also be dipping back into the grimdark world of Warhammer 40k on December 7th, with the arrival of Rogue Trader. This turn-based tactics game puts you in charge of your very own void ship as you travel through a dangerous, uncharted region of space. What you do out there is up to you. Stay loyal to the Emperor and slay everyone in sight, or see if any of the locals fancy making a deal with you. Every little decision you make will ripple out across Rogue Trader's open world, and naturally, some of those ripples will come with deadly, deadly consequences. Oh, and if you love spending time in the grimy, gory world of Warhammer 40k and want to see it through a very different lens, then you should also head to the Game Pass library and check out Darktide.
The crew of a drifting spaceship are going to find themselves wondering which one of them is the imposter in Nausea. And honestly, this seems to happen so often that it should really be part of your spaceship insurance. Nausea is a sci-fi social deduction game where it's up to you to figure out who the alien interloper is, gather information by talking to the crew, and decide who you think should be put into cold sleep. Which is certainly nicer than chucking them out in the airlock at least. You'll need to keep your wits about you because while your abilities will improve as the story goes on, so will those of the crew. Catching them in a lie gets harder the further you progress, and if you get things wrong, it could be you who ends up going for a long, chilly nap. Oh. Arriving on the 14th, Nausea promises to be a whole lot of nerve-shredding, friend-deceiving, paranoia-inducing fun.
The 8th season of Overwatch 2 will kick off on December 5th, bringing with it a beefy new chain gun wielding hero called Maunga. And the swaggering Samoan isn't the only major new addition, there's also a new point capturing game mode called Clash, and a new map called Hanaoka, which acts as a kind of spiritual successor to the original game's Hanamura. And with these tasty new releases, that's us done for 2023. Hit the comments to tell us about your favourite games from this year and the ones you're most looking forward to hearing more about in 2024. Bye!